One percenters, welcome back. Coach Hami, 1424 basketball training. Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs are no joke. Let's watch them thinking basketball together, and I have a little reaction.
Young and exciting Cavs, yes.
Spider-Man
have started the season 6-1 with the best point differential in the NBA.
Ooh,
but
point
on
differential.
Sunday night, they found themselves trailing a feisty Knicks squad by 9 heading into the fourth quarter. And it was about to be 11 before Donovan Mitchell saved a layup out of nowhere.
Get that ish out of
A
here.
moment later, the ageless graybeard Kevin Love dropped in a 28-footer, and the comeback
Shooting
was
never
on.
ages.
At 95-87, it was Mitchell's turn to get into the action, splitting two screens.
Some of my graduated players played basketball with them this last week for the first time in a really, really long time, and they're like, "You're no joke, coach. You're like wine, getting better with age. Shooting, as you get older, your shooting gets better if you just keep shooting." I mean, that's why old people can shoot, because they've been shooting for a long time. So if you're working at it, keep working at it. Eventually, hopefully with decent form, you'll get better.
Before
Sidebar.
spinning back for this insane flush, and Donovan is a master of rejecting the pick like this.
He's like D
That
Wade.
means instead of using the screen that's set for him, he cuts back and doesn't go around the screen at all as a way to puncture the defense.
It's like a
His
running
defender
back, cutting
is
back.
anticipating sliding around the incoming pick, so he's vulnerable to this crossover. And watch the help defender. He expects the play to head left, so he's completely frozen when Mitchell rejects the screen and takes it down the middle. Here's another one where the screener's defender is a little behind the play when he switches on to Donovan, and that's exactly when Mitchell cuts it back. And again, this help defender is totally flat-footed, and that's an easy dunk.
That's Kyle
Mitchell
Kuzma.
has been the offensive superstar that Cleveland needed, using his shifty change of direction to pressure defenses and set up the Cavs' finishers.
It's a little bit more one-on-one than Utah's old system.
Range to start the year, drilling 4 threes a game at 44%.
Catch and shoot.
That's Steph Curry
Beautiful
type
footwork.
shooting.
Right, left, right.
And Mitchell gets into these off of movement like this, or out of those deadly dribble actions where defenders are
Touch
worried about
step
his
back.
drive.
That's elite right there. If you guys
Curry type
notice.
shooting, and Mitchell gets into these off of movement like this.
I don't know if I
or out
posted,
of
but I made a video.
those
You
dead
skip off the inside step. You have to find this rhythm.
dribble actions where defenders are
it's a little hard to see.
44%. That's Steph Curry type shooting.
But you're landing
And
twice
Mitchell gets into
on the
these
right
off of
foot.
movement like this.
Let me see if I can get it for you guys. Okay,
Or out of
as you
those
guys skip, that foot hits twice. So right, and then you push back on the second one.
Actions where defenders are worried about his drive. Even when he cools off, he's still dangerous enough as a shooter to demand defensive attention all over the floor. And that means defenses have to play him well outside the arc.
Looks like he has a lot more freedom.
Playmaking to set up Cleveland's role players. This is like a light version of the Steph Curry treatment, where defenses heavily focus on Mitchell well outside the arc. 3 Knicks eye him in transition here, and then
That's
his
the green
passing
light,
leads
man.
to easy offense.
Young guys
The next
running
time
with him that
down,
can shoot.
New York's big man doesn't come out high on the screen.
Sideshow Bob.
So Mitchell just walks into a 27-footer and strokes it. Offense.
A lot of times I see
Next time
people
down,
getting
New York's big
saying
man
which shot
doesn't
type
come
is the
out high
fastest, and a lot of times they say 1-2 is the fastest. But when you're going like this and you need to immediately stop,
on the screen.
stop
so
and
Mitchell
hop,
just
you
walks
drop into a hop. So left,
into a
boom, land on 2.
27-footer and strokes it. He's also giving more effort on defense.
You got to understand what shot type you need, and there's 6 ways to jump, right? Right hop, right left, left right, just the right, just the left. You got to be able to do all 6 if you're going to be elite, and not only just jump that way, jump shoot that way. You got to obviously make the shots.
Start the season drawing an offensive foul, fighting around this screen, and then on the next possession, Cleveland runs this beautiful play for Love, where he pitches it to Donovan, and big old Jaron Allen screens for Mitchell. Then for Love on a comebacker, and this dude is a flamethrower as well.
Ooh, left, right,
Also
little
notice how
misdirection.
Mitchell's shooting threat makes this hard to guard.
I mean, he could have rolled a little bit,
Two
set an
defenders
actual
slide
screen
with
there,
him,
Jared Allen.
So now Allen can go screen for Love with no other defender around, and that's extremely hard to stop.
I took a really cute photo.
The Lakers are trash.
And I got like a little
Lots of young teams. There's a whole new way, a whole new generation of players that are playing. And young guys, they just get better and better because more and more of them are getting trained and playing 365 days a year, man. It's amazing. I have my little 8th grader, my 8-year-old hitting threes in games now. Young kids can shoot now.
Ton of pressure on this big man. So Obi Toppin is.
And then I have like juniors that are coming to me super late, sophomores, juniors that can barely dribble, barely even get it to the rim. It's crazy. The variance and discrepancy.
Pulled over
It's
to
crazy.
help, and Mitchell can whip it out for another love bomb from deep. With the lead cut to 4, it was Mitchell's turn to fire, coming off a pick and absolutely drilling this off-balance 3.
Left foot in front of
plus a
right.
foul. With the lead
So
cut
many
to
people
4,
want to say
it was
get your feet
Mitchell's
straight
turn to
and
fire.
everything, and I say shoot with variable feet.
Coming up-
When you work out, you should have variable stances.
Pick.
There it is, left in front of the right. You jump, kind of square up in the air.
Absolutely drilling this off-balance 3, plus a foul, and suddenly we are tied at 99. Then Cleveland's defense picked up.
Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, all these guys are kind of like one-on-one players, and you can't have 5 one-on-one players. It just doesn't work.
With Mobley
You
moving
see it with the Cavs, man. They have 2 of the best one-on-one players, but it doesn't work.
beautifully with
People have to, a great team, they all have to know their role, and they all have to fit their role, and they all have to excel in that role.
Julius Randle, then nearly smothering this shot attempt. With Jared Allen on the bench, Mobley was at center.
Jalen Brunson, like he's super good one-on-one. RJ Barrett, all I see is his one-on-one stuff. Julius Randle likes to isolate one-on-one. Emmanuel quickly, haven't seen too much about him, but he's a little bit more
during this
one-on-one-ish.
stretch, and he's in position to meet the ball handler around this screen, but he rejects the screen. Only Mobley's all over it and forces a rush floater that misses. Evans only a sophomore, but his defensive versatility is a reason the Cavs can be elite this season.
Yep.
Cleveland can play twin tower lineups with Allen because the 7-foot Mobley can recover from the perimeter like this, and then on the same play, protect the basket.
This is a late pass.
Cleveland
I
can
mean, this is
play
good
twin
defense,
tower
but this is a
lineups
super
with
late
Allen
pass.
because the 7-foot Mobley can recover from the perimeter like this, and
Right here. That needs to be the pass right there. He does not need to jump. He needs to step through.
on the
So he jumps, hangs in the air, and then it gets deflected.
play, protect the basket as an elite shot blocker.
Great
Here's
verticality
Mobley in
there.
a drop coverage against the pick and roll, and he
Good defense
He's able
chasing.
to
Okay, you got one guy, 35, coming in to help.
somehow deter a mid-range shot while also making
Goran Dragic going all the way to the right as a left-handed. If you sit on that, it's very, very hard for people, right-handers to go left and shoot, left-handers to go right and shoot. You got to use your brains. If you're really, really good offensively, you know which moves are harder to
a
do.
pass over
So then he sits on it, and then the
top
guy gets to
tricky,
recover.
and then Mitchell throws some sorcery in transition, and it's
Throw
Mobley
it.
who catches it and throws it down. Despite
What makes a great
also
pass?
making a
Right
pass
type,
over the
right
top tricky, and
time,
then Mitchell throws some
Right
sorcery in
target, so the
transition.
timing is there, right? The target is there. He goes 2 hands over the head, soccer throw, outlet pass, type bounce pass.
Mobley who catches it and throws it down.
If he did a regular bounce pass from his chest, the ball wouldn't bounce high enough. It'd probably skip up to Mobley's knees. He'd probably kick it.
Despite some struggles from the perimeter, Evans' offensive versatility helps these lineups work. He can still slash to the bucket from the outside against slower-footed defenders, yet he can still utilize
Evan Mobley's kind of like a Chris Bosh 2.0,
his size as
3.0.
a rim runner
A little bit
to
taller.
finish some of the beautiful passes
put on some
from Cleveland
muscle.
guards.
So much
That
like
one
Chris
was
Bosh.
from Mitchell, but here it's Karis LeVert throwing a lob to their other vertical threat, Allen, and Cleveland has even
Jared Allen's like a dying breed, shot blocker, rim runner. He needs to develop some skills over time, or else he'll turn into like DeAndre Jordan.
gone zone with their 2 giants, with Mobley roaming out on the perimeter, and that is not an easy nut to crack for opposing teams. This is a twin tower clinic, with Pascal Siakam turning the corner
like
on
a 1-2-2
Mobley,
zone.
only for Allen to help out, so Evan peels off his man and makes an incredible save at the basket.
Got to make an extra pass there.
Jared can return the favor as well. Mobley's backdoored here, but Allen goes up and he races a layup.
Ugh, get it out of
Despite
here.
their size, Cleveland is plenty mobile. Mobley's guarding Boston's point guard here.
So with longer players, naturally, you have to be able to shoot farther. You have to extend the court. Like I said, over and over, this game is going to turn more into football and soccer than basketball. So dribbling becomes less and less valuable, especially one-on-one dribbling. Passing, cutting becomes more and more valuable. Passing, cutting, and obviously long-range shooting.
Mitchell closes quickly to the ball. Mobley's
This is just a terrible pass.
Mobley's guarding Boston.
Looks like Jaylen Brown twice. He's looking for the perfect pass. Sometimes you just got to move it. So right here, that's a pass to whoever's at the top there, Derek White, and that's an easy three. But he's looking for Tatum, so he fades. Right, they're all sitting on him, and he's still just trying to force it to Tatum when he easily has White right there.
Closes quickly to the ball. Mobley's waiting to protect the rim well. Allen wisely rotates to the corner.
Again, these are late passes. These guys are sliding. This is such great
Mitchell
defense.
Closes quickly to the ball. Mobley's waiting to protect
Here
the
he
rim
needs to
well.
step through that gap instead of trying to slide through. So he needs to step through there and pass it with his left hand. Step through this gap.
Allen
As he slides down to go around Mobley, then you got Jarrett Allen that's a little millisecond more to come over.
Mitchell
Right? Not a great pass. He shovel passes it.
recognizes
Everybody's rotating. Not a great pass. Horford's not ready to shoot.
rotate to next. And
And now we're ready to
this is
shoot.
all just great effort from an in-sync group, and it's a turnover.
I mean, it's great
Pulling
defense,
wise-
but I'm an offensive coach, right? This is a terrible pass. Like this is not how you want to deliver that ball.
Rotates to the corner.
Here you're not ready to shoot. You could be ready to shoot, but you're thinking pass immediately.
Mitchell
Okay, this is not a good pass. Right? It's slow. He could have sped that thing up.
recognizes where to rotate to next, and this is all just great effort from an in-sync group, and it's a turnover. Back in that fourth quarter against New York, we saw a similar reaction, with Mobley teleporting to save this breakdown, but Mitchell reacts too, and that extra effort is just enough to force a miss.
Great cut
On
in
the prior
front.
possession, the Cavs took the lead for good with another 4-point play, this one from Love,
I made a video on
just enough to force
think
a
of the
miss.
ball as a grenade.
On the
I think it was YouTube or Instagram,
prior
wherever I put it.
possession, the Cavs took the lead for good.
Right, the ball's a grenade. If you're old and slow like me and Kevin Love, if you got a dynamic guy that's going to get you the ball, all you got to do is set screens, set go screens, just run, make some tiny bit of confusion. Julius Randle hedges hard for no real reason. He picks the ball up, pass on time, right, catch. Hands are there, feet, eyes, everything already looking at the rim. 1-2.
Play. This one
Let it
from
fly.
Love, and Kevin's defender left him momentarily to step out. And
You
disrupt
only need that
Mitchell's
second to
outside
catch, man. If
shooting,
you can catch it,
and
you're
that
open.
freed him up for just a moment. So the next trip down the court,
Grenade mentality.
the Cavs run the exact same play, which leads to a switch. And later in the possession, that left Mitchell with a mismatch to attack. So Jalen Brunson cheats up to help. Mitchell reads it
You always can go right here, right? Left step back if you're quick enough. Right, they're falling asleep in the zone
perfectly.
here. Hands
and
down because they're
Mobley
little.
crushes it to go up 5. After a
have
timeout,
active hands.
the Cavs go back to that Mitchell pick and roll. The Knicks decided to switch it. Mitchell senses a flat-footed big man
Okay, easy blow by. You got that whole side, right? Go to the open
and
space.
just rises
Punch,
up
boom,
for
step
his
back.
8th 3 of the game and his 5th 30-point outing in 7
It's all about the angles.
As a team, Cleveland made 23 triples in this game because role players like Wade and Chetty Osman are solid outside shooters. And keep in mind, Darius Garland has barely played this year. Most of their fourth quarter run against the Knicks came with Allen on the bench because the Cavs can opt for Love's floor spacing instead. And LeVert
Oh,
was
that's why. Kevin Love and Jared Allen are kind of opposites.
off the floor too, despite King
Again, so talking about roles, right? Jared Allen fits that role. He's not trying to get anything more than rolls, dunks, and screens. That's his job, his blocks and stuff like that. Kevin Love, you just space and shoot, man. Set screen, space and shoot. So if he can kind of hold his own on defense, Kevin Love will be
big
important
comeback
to the
win in
team.
overtime against Boston in
And if Jared Allen on the other end can do enough offensively to keep teams respecting him, then he should be able to stay on the floor as
the
well.
game before. Karras has emerged as yet another dynamic playmaker for the Cavs this year, which gives JB Bickerstaff 3 dangerous passers to deploy in his offense. So, the young Cavs have a creative coach, solid role players,
That is not creative.
2 defensive anchors to hold down the paint on one end, and 2 of the more dynamic guards in the league.
You have 2 very defensive-minded players, Jarrett Allen and Mobley, and then you got 2 really one-on-one creators in Garland and Spida Mitchell. They break things off all the time. If you're breaking off screens and avoiding the screens, the double staggers, and you're rejecting screens all the time, it just means you're elite of a one-on-one. You can create mismatches all the time. The double staggers and the pinches and the X cuts and all that stuff is to create a little bit of chaos for the defense to have to think. And then you're essentially having a great running back just cutting up and making things happen.
On the other,
I don't know how much.
Even though it's early, the Cleveland
I mean,
Cavaliers
coaching gets a little
already
bit of
look
credit,
like
but honestly,
one of
coaching
the
is so
best
much
teams
easier when you have
in
great
the
players.
entire league.
So
This
the
season you
GM
can find
GM should get a lot of credit as well here. Woo! Interesting. I like watching Thinking Basketball. He always provides some good little insight that the mainstream stuff doesn't really get you to see. And I had a little moment while my boy was sleeping. So until next time, take 14 minutes, 24 seconds, or 1% of your day to get better. Peace.